Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing the usual, another Walking Dead video for today. In this one, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the released character bios for each character leading up to the Walking Dead Season 7. Alright, so we got the updated character bios for each character going into Season 7. It was kind of released along with the character portraits. So I'll put the link in the description, as usual for you guys, WalkingDead.com. I'm going to give my thoughts on each character bio. So we got Rick. So let's start with Rick. So Rick, for the first time in his pre- and post- apocalyptic life, is powerless. He is re-evaluating everything he thought to be true in the world. He is terrified for his life and the lives of his children and the group. He now knows he is outnumbered and he has lost regardless. The world is much bigger, scarier place than he ever imagined. It's true. I mean, Rick and the group, if you look at kind of the way he handles the Saviors when they first meet him and that, Rick and the group are extremely tough, right? They're extremely tough survivors. They're very deadly. They're very good with their weapons. You know, you have Daryl's great with his crossbow. You have Michonne's great with her katana. You've got Rick. He's great with, you know, the Colt and everything else that he's used over the seasons and that. So they know that they're formidable. They know they're tough. But the thing is that they probably never imagined there were groups out there like Negan and the Saviors. Of course, now that they're in Virginia or Alexandria near Washington, near D.C., they haven't spent that much time out there. They just kind of got there in second half of season 5. You know, they were in that area. Before that, they were kind of traveling, and before that, in a totally different location. So they're just kind of finding out now that there are groups out there that are stronger than theirs is, that are bigger, that have more members, that are more deadly, and the Saviors just happen to be one of them. I mean, a group of 100 people, roughly 100 fighters. I mean, that is something that Rick and the group have never faced anything like before, even counting in Terminus and Woodbury and everything else. They've never run into a group this big before. Very cool. Next one's for Daryl. Daryl finally made Alexandria his home and the Alexandrians his extended family. Finding forgiveness, he saved Dwight, who in turn took his crossbow and used it to kill Denise. A defining moment for Daryl. And Daryl feels extreme guilt and anger. Now he faces Dwight, Negan, and the Saviors with no hope for the mercy he extended to Dee in the burnt-out forest. That was kind of good how he has the part with Carol where he says he should have killed him. And then, of course, he's consumed by rage, and he tries to kill him at the end of the season. And I almost feel like maybe that was the highlight of the second half, was maybe not, like Negan gets all the attention, but if you think of Last Day on Earth and everything, maybe kind of the Daryl versus Dwight thing, actually, you could make a case that actually could be kind of the high point of that, late second half after No Way Out and everything. Because that was pretty exciting in East in that when he's going after him, and it's kind of a back and forth. And his anger actually works against him against Dwight, because Dwight is able to stay calculated and calm and is able to get the jump on Daryl and even shoot him once. So it's going to be really good to see. I can't wait to see if Daryl gets his revenge on Dwight. We have Glen. So Glen has fully, quote-unquote, grown up. He's been through trauma after trauma, and he's come away stronger for it, picking up lessons from the people he's lost along the way, firmly cemented in his humanism. He's wary of this new, brutal world and his place within it, especially with a child on the way. Good stuff. So yeah, but if he have known about the Saviors and this kind of stuff, maybe he wouldn't have gone with the having a kid and everything like that. So this is going to be interesting too, to see what they do with Glen and how this all works out and everything. Of course, we had the thank you part with Nicholas and that was big. He's the one who happens to see the brain matter in the pictures, from where Negan was brutally killing somebody with Lucille. The guy in the outpost had that the pictures on his wall, the Polaroids. He ends up being the one to see it. He's the one to kind of make his first sort of kill there of another human, which is really dark for him. Been in the series since the beginning. And, man, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Glenn this season. Maggie Greene. Okay, so we got Maggie, having found leadership and responsibility in Alexandria, now finds herself in a medical crisis and in the lineup of potential victims. Everything that led her to this moment was about finding strength in the face of loss. Now she faces yet another loss, even her own potential, or even her own life, potentially her own life. Yeah, not too much else to say about Maggie. Just, of course, she's got the sickness thing going on right now. And, it could be a really rough season for her. So we'll see. We've got Carl. So last season, the progress Carl made towards innocence and optimism began to erode. The mercy and patience he gave Ron nearly resulted in his own death and forever scarred and changed him. Was Carl ahead? Well, of course, with the eye thing and everything too, right? That changes him quite a bit, I feel like. Was Carl ahead of the others in finding out the brutality of this world cannot be escaped? Yeah, but he's got a lot of transforming to do still, and I almost feel like the brutality of this world can be escaped. I feel like people's opinion of Carl is sort of spilled over from the comics into the TV series, but if you look at him in the TV series, he is clearly not as badass as he is in the comics up to this point. So, again, we've talked about this this summer through Q&As. I'm looking for Carl. I'm looking to see him become a little bit more badass and kick a little bit more ass and stuff. Then we got Michonne. Michonne, having found purpose, growth, healing, and love, was on a trajectory for some kind of happiness. She had finally left behind the identity of the solitary swordsperson, walking the forest with Walker Pets. I remember that way back. And yet, for as far as she's come, she's now forced to sit as Negan decides her and the group's fate, forever altering life as they thought they knew it. And also, she's one of the most positive ones going into Alexandria, so she kind of feels like they can trust Alexandria, that it's safe and everything should be good there, and that they can start a life there. And now we're getting into all this stuff with Negan and the Saviors. So, man, it should be good stuff to see how she reacts, and if that changes her positivity, we'll see, and optimism. We got Abraham. Abraham is genuinely self-aware and living the post-apocalyptic life he wants, doing what he has to do in order to create that life for himself, even if it meant hurting Rosita. Having come through that, having truly found what he wants, he now faces a life ahead full of conflict and compromise, if he even gets to lead it. So that should be interesting with him. Of course, he's got the girl problems, so that's fun. Leaving Rosita for Sasha. Abraham's a really tough survivor in that, so we'll see what happens this season, and how he's using everything should be good. Carol, so we got Carol. Of course, she's been shot a bunch of times and she's not in good shape, and some people questioned me when I said maybe it's time to retire. I didn't say that because of her age. I said that because of the shit she's gone through in the zombie apocalypse, not just because her hair is gray. She just got lit up like a Christmas tree at the end of the season. So I don't know, I thought people, I guess I have to explain that. Anyway, the events of Carol's past are catching up to her soul. And her body, too, apparently. Her abusive relationship, losing her daughter, burning lives at the prison, killing Lizzie, fighting off the wolves and the saviors. She cannot keep on her current path of destruction for community survival. She is not suicidal. She instinctively knows when you love someone, you must kill for them. If the choice is to kill, to be with a group, or not kill and be alone, and if being alone means you die, in her words to Morgan, please let me go. So too much pain. She's lost her struggle for survival. We've also gone over that one, the whole Eros versus Thanatos struggle for a living and just giving up. And she's kind of been pushed over, given up. But we'll see if Morgan can't bring her back, since he's kind of our zombie apocalypse monk, so to speak. So he's got his staff. Morgan is questioning his philosophy. He was unable to kill his wife when he had to, which led Morgan to kill, to clear everything and everyone. Oh wow, that's cool to know that he actually did just kill everybody. Well, it's kind of in the episode too, but when you spell it out like that, it seems like, okay, so how many? You almost wonder how many people did Morgan kill before he sort of kind of came back, too far gone, came back, that kind of thing. All life became precious again when he met Eastman. So I guess that's kind of the changing moment. Up until then, we don't know how many people he killed in total. Then he had to kill a savior to save Carol. He is coming to terms that he cannot live in absolutes. Will this lead him to abandon his philosophy? I don't think it will make him abandon his philosophy, but I think it'll make him see a little bit more of the gray that is reality and it not being so black and white like he kind of was acting like it was prior. And then we have Sasha. So Sasha struggled with her past traumas, flirting with self-destruction, and came out the other side alive. She discovered a kindred spirit in Abraham, and both of them found peace as they found each other. Well, she had Bob before that too, right? They have embraced the idea of living a full life together beyond surviving, and yet they sit in a lineup that guarantees that the world isn't done with delivering them pain and loss. So, Sasha's a cool character too as well, because she, of course, is our kind of resident sniper. So Andrea not being in the TV series, I'm assuming she's going to fill some of those roles, some of that role that Andrea had in the comics that's coming up with her sniper skills and everything. So that should be cool. We'll see what happens with her and Abraham if they do decide, because there was kind of like some hinting at the end of season 6 that maybe they could try to have a baby or something, and maybe they would want to do that too after, of course, seeing Glenn and Maggie try for one and do that. Tara. So we got Tara has bad luck with the deaths she has experienced in the apocalypse. Now she is out on a run with Heath, unaware her girlfriend has been killed and the dire circumstances facing her friends. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, she's totally clueless right now as to what's going on. She's totally out of the loop. So it'll be nice to see her come back maybe mid-season, season 7, and then find out what's happening, what's going on. One thing with the Walking Dead TV series, if you look at it, all the characters, man, they've done a great job of really fleshing out so many different characters for the season that even though they're doing 16 episodes, it doesn't feel like that much because you have so many characters, different communities now, and all these different things happening, that each character can have their own arc, and it's almost like with all these characters, they won't have any trouble filling out the season at all. It's like, yeah, it'll just fill itself out with everybody because she's going to have her own episode too, right? So that should be cool. Then we got Eugene. Eugene found his place within the group. He stepped out of his comfort zone and learned he is not just an intellectual, but also a survivor. He proved he can protect himself, and more importantly, he can protect others. But his new gained confidence is short-lived once it just blacked out on me. Okay. Once they encounter these saviors. Eugene suspects he and the group are going to lose this battle and that he could possibly lose his life. Well, based on the numbers, he's pretty smart. So, I think he knows, okay, this probably isn't going to go well. Then we got Rosita. So Rosita's world upended in the back half of the last season, season 6. She lost a relationship that was a cornerstone for her life, and yet she discovered there was a life beyond that. Just as the saviors came and killed Denise, consumed by anger, she went after the saviors, only to discover how powerless her group was against them. Well, because of numbers mainly. And also they're good, right? They're really good. They're good at flanking, they're good at strategy, they're good at hunting people, they're good at, in terms of skirmishes with groups and their positioning and everything. They're really good. Now sitting in the lineup, she is facing either more loss or her own death. Then we got Gabriel. Father Gabriel has gone to great lengths to make amends and prove himself trustworthy to the group. Last season, Rick's first words to Father Gabriel were no, and Rick's last words to Father Gabriel were yes. I didn't realize that. I have to look back. I remember the yes, but the no, I don't remember. But that's cool to think about that. And yeah, I guess it would be. You see all the details they put. It's amazing sometimes, man. It's like, wow, did they plan that? That's crazy. Judith is Father Gabriel's priority. He does not have a plan, but he has patience and faith, grounded in the understanding that bad people have to die. Father Gabriel is one part priest and one part soldier. It's cool. I like what they've done with him because earlier on in the series, most people don't like him. You're not supposed to. And they kind of slowly make you like him as the seasons go on. So in season 6, he kind of redeems himself. And I feel like most people now would probably like Father Gabriel at this point. Then we got Aaron. Aaron cares about the people of Alexandria to keep that place going. He has put himself in danger time and time again, working and fighting for a better tomorrow. That tomorrow has come, and it is darker than anything he could ever imagine. He sits in the lineup with people that have quickly become family to him, crushed and terrified in the knowledge that even if he survives, someone else will not. And that's true. He's a really good guy. He's a really good character. And he's one of our standouts from Alexandria. In terms of our Alexandria survivors, he's one of the best ones. We got Spencer. The arrival of Rick's group into Alexandria resulted in Spencer losing his brother, then his father, and ultimately his mother, Deanna. He believes if Rick has not led the charge to kill the Saviors at the compound, maybe there could have been a deal to be made instead of bloodshed. Spencer tries to do the right thing while trying to find the reconciliation between the safety Rick's group brought and the destruction Rick's group brought as well. Always a touch on the opportunistic side, Spencer continues to take the path of least resistance. Interesting. And it'll also be interesting to see if him and Rosita have an ongoing relationship, if that works or how that goes, and what they do with him as well, too. That's tough to say. We'll see in the TV series what they decide to do. Dwight. So Dwight and his wife tried to escape the rule of Negan and got scared of dying and scared of living. He betrayed Negan by running away. He betrayed himself by returning. He betrayed Daryl. Now that's interesting. Did he return on his own or did he return? I guess we'll find out this season. He returned. This makes it sound like Dwight returned on his own. I was under the impression that he got captured and brought back by some other saviors because there's so many of them, right? And try to outrun them is tough. He betrayed Daryl by serving him up to Negan. There are consequences to each of those choices. Yeah, he definitely plays both sides. Two-faced. I like it because he's two-faced, right? There's Dwight. That's exactly what he is. If you think about it, he's two-faced. That's what it is, right? To Daryl, he's like all cool and stuff. And then after, he takes all his shit and turns on him. And then, comes back this way. And yeah, he is. He totally is, right? We got Jesus, Paul Rovia, changed the name for the TV series. While Jesus is a member of the Hilltop community, he is protective, thoughtful, and resourceful. I get, in the TV series version, I kind of feel like he's a bit like the Hilltop's version of Aaron, if you think about it. And he'll be good, too, because I'm sure they're going to use him a lot as a mainstay character in the series now, so it should be good. More importantly, he understands the larger picture. Last season, he quipped to Rick that their world was about to get a whole lot bigger. He knows it is going to get bigger still. Does he? His insight and agility could prove him to be a mutually beneficial asset. So it'll be interesting to see if he knows about the kingdom or not. This makes it sound like he does. He knows it is going to get bigger still. So it sounds like from this, he does know about the kingdom, and maybe he'll be telling Rick about the kingdom this season, maybe in the second half, maybe in the first half, later half, we'll see. Gregory. So Gregory thought the Saviors were, quote-unquote, the small group. He knew they were a threat, but not to what extent. Okay, so he wasn't lying to Rick. He actually didn't know 100% how much of a threat they actually were. He is comfortable trading one problem for another, taking everything for himself but responsibility. I love that. He's like a salesman, right? Like a car salesman or something. A used car salesman. If something, nothing against used car salesmen. That's not what I mean. I just mean like he's tricky, right? He's tricky for sure. If something does not concern him directly, it does not concern him whatsoever. I like that. Regardless if it is a concern for his community. Yeah, I get that feeling from Gregory, too. He's a snake. He's in it for himself, for sure. King Ezekiel. I love how they call him king. Ezekiel is king. I kind of think Negan is king, to be honest. King of the kingdom. With a tiger, with intellectually curious and majestically grandiose. Ezekiel is not naive to violence and atrocities of this world and truly wants to help others thrive. That'll be really cool to see a totally new community again as well, too. Going to be great, man. And then we got Negan. Oh, man, the man himself. Negan is a charismatic totalitarian ruler with an iron fist in the form of a baseball bat named Lucille. He knows exactly how to make an introduction, establish his rule, and widen his scope of control and dominance. There are no secrets. He's totally a dictator, right? He's like zombie apocalypse Hitler, only cool, right? You follow his rules, you live, you don't know. Well, some people thought Hitler was pretty cool. He had the thing, if you watch the speeches and stuff. I don't know, he's weird quips and stuff. And he spoke well, that's for sure. Oh, God, did he ever. You live, you don't follow his rules, you die. He is a man of his word. I'm a man of my word. So Yeah, man, pretty awesome stuff. We went over the Negan and what Cass thinks of Negan yesterday anyway, but yeah, really excited to see everything, really excited to see Negan. Negan's going to steal the show this season, I just know it. So those are the character bios, guys. I hope you liked it. Went through all of them with you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Write your comments below. What do you think about it? I think it does give us some details, gives us some insight. It makes it sound like Dwight went back voluntarily, and you know, some of the other parts too here are pretty good, especially that one I liked. And yeah, so also the one about Father Gabriel I thought was cool too, because I didn't realize that. That's a pretty in-depth type of setup, yes and or no and yes. They're really cool. So it's like, as fans too, we give Father Gabriel, we gave him a no and now we give him a yes. Yeah, it's true. They do a great job, man. So that'll be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please don't forget to thumb it up below. Please like it below. Fear the Walking Dead finale tomorrow night. Can't wait for it. Send me any other questions you guys got, and we'll do maybe a Walking Dead Q&A tomorrow. If you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left, a sub. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.